following show is a paid program.
Hey family, what's up? Man, I am so excited today. We have one of the best in the building. We're going to be talking about men and women fashions with the celebrity stylist, Tim Thorn. He is my friend. We're going to be talking about everything fashion. He is the CEO of Paisley 360, which is a menswear line, exquisite menswear line. He's an influencer, image consultant, and model coach. Hey, my friend, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh man, we need your help. Tim, we need help. So I called out to Tim and I said, Tim, we need help. A friend of ours was on, mutual friend, a shout out to Irvin Randall, and he was talking about men's fashions, but the women kept screaming and telling me, Cam, what about us? What do you all have for us? So we will talk about that today, but Tim, how did you get into fashion, my friend? How did that come about?
I got into fashion. I've always been in fashion, fashion-minded rather.
Yes.
And so I decided a few years ago to just launch out and start a business in fashion because that's just been one of my biggest passions.
Yes.
And I think a lot of my influences came from my mom and my dad in my early years. And then I did a little modeling when I was in college. So I've always dibbled and dabbled in the fashion arena. And so I guess those were like just steps until I got to the point to where I really wanted to really make it a full-time deal.
Absolutely. I remember you working Saks, and we all went to Tim. We said, hey, Tim, we need your help. And he would tell us, hey, that doesn't look right. He helped us with color for men. Let's talk about that a little bit, for men with color.
Yes. Now, one of the good things about with people of color is, especially African-American people,
yes,
we can pretty much wear any color.
Yes.
Because of the melanin in our skin. You find that a lot of white people tend to shy away from like pale pinks, ivories, and colors like that because it just you don't know where the clothes start and where the skin starts. It just but we can pretty much wear any color. Now, there are some colors that complement us better, and that's another issue that people really have to learn. And it's always good to have a fashion consultant to let a person know sometimes what colors are best for them.
Absolutely. I like that. And also body type. We talk about that quite a bit about body type. A lot of people always say blacks slim you a little bit better than, your other colors.
And that's true. Black is definitely slimming. And then also when it comes to body types, especially like for women, there are different cuts that work to accentuate certain parts of the body.
Right.
Like, for example, if a woman is a little thick around the waistline,
yes,
or if she's a curvy woman or a plus size, there are certain things that you can do to distract the eye from just going to that particular part of the body.
That's great.
So there's some tricks that a lot of women could use, because another issue is that a lot of petite women find it just as hard to buy certain things and get and achieve a certain look, more so than a plus size woman.
Wow. And they always think that's the opposite.
Right, exactly. Like, oh, you're small. You don't, you can go in the store. No, that's not true. Because a lot of times with petite women, they tend to be shorter
Yes.
in stature, and a lot of times in the stores, the pant are too long or the sleeves are too long.
Mm-hmm.
So they normally have to spend a lot of money on alterations. And the same thing even for men. Like I'm 6'2". And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, when I go to a store, I may see a pair of pants. I may not want them to be cropped, so I may have to take the hem all the way out.
Wow. That's a good.
know. And same thing about blazers and shirts sometimes, especially like with blazers. Sometimes I have to let the sleeves out on the
Mm-hmm.
blazer because I want the sleeve of the blazer to get just right. So sometimes I have to take it out because I have very long arms. My
Mm-hmm.
arm span is 26 inches.
Wow. That is
Because one thing about my body shape is that um, I'm 6'2", but I have long legs versus a long torso.
mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
there are guys that may have a long torso. We may be the same height, but their
Mm.
torso is longer and they don't need to let out pants. If anything, they may have to take them in. And I've had
Mm-hmm.
models like that where we were the same height, but they had a longer torso. But this is the thing though, when you really know your body,
Yes.
and nobody ever says, to me, basically like when I have on a jacket or when I'm dressed or whatever, like, oh, your legs are extremely long. Now you could tell that if I had on a pair of shorts and t-shirt, you're like, oh my God, you have long legs.
Right.
But because I'm good at camouflaging it, because I know what to do.
Right.
And that's the reason why those of you that are listening, if you need help, you can always call me. Yeah.
And that's what an image consultant will tell you, right?
Absolutely. 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 And see, now that we're in this pandemic quarantine situation,
Yes.
you can do video conferencing and video consultation easily,
Mm-hmm.
because when you have a professional dealing with you, true, it's always good to be, live and in person, but because we can't always do that now, a professional can look at you on a video and pretty much tell what you could do.
I love that how what you're talking about as far as the women. Women have so many questions. They have bombarded me with the questions about how to wear the clothes and what to do with the clothes and things like that. Where should a dress hit on the below the knee, above the knee, and maybe like you said, it's based on the way their body type.
Absolutely. And see, another thing when it comes to African American women, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them are blessed with large derrieres. And I'm being very nice because this is the noonday hour. We don't know if children are really listening. Um, but if their butt or their hips
Uh-huh.
tend to be a little bit bigger than the average woman, then there are things, certain pieces that you have to be conscious about in terms
Right.
of if you want to achieve a certain length. Now, we do know that there's some, and that's where we get the term from hoochie mama. Because a hoochie mama would have a big booty, and
We
the
came
back of her
early with
dress,
it.
you can literally see the thong. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, we're not gonna do that today. So, in terms of the length of the dress, that's
Yes.
all subjective, to what the style of the dress is,
Yes.
what is it that you want to convey, because there is no particular dress link that's in the fashion world right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
I
have
think the
maxi, you have short skirts, you have mid skirts, you have dresses, and you have all that together now, right now.
Absolutely. I think the thing that you've always spoken to us about is your shapers and how you can conceal it, make it look better. Because
Yes.
sometimes I'm gonna let you talk about
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna
Things
let
get
you
out of
go there.
control. Look, things get out of control. Yeah, body shapers
Oh my
are
God,
like um, a
man.
a must have. a must-have, and even for men as well.
Yes.
But specifically for women, body shapers are a must-have because what they do, they basically just keep things from jiggling and rolling and shaking and falling out and stuff like that. And plus, when you put on a nice pantsuit or you put on a nice fitted dress, you don't see all of the rolls and the all that stuff just going on. It basically just kind of tones you up and give you a more smoother look. Plus, it also makes the garment fall better on you.
Yes, yes, yes.
And just like I think we talked about once before, that even if you wore a pantsuit or a pair of pants and you want them to fall really nicely, you could put on a pair of pantyhose, and you don't even have to wear the full pantyhose. You can wear the ones that let them go up to your thighs. I remember back in the day, my grandmother used to wear stockings, and this was she didn't have a lot of pantyhose, but she wore stockings. You know how the older people do,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
she would roll them up right around, just right in her thigh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you know, um, definitely women should definitely invest in not just one body shaper, but invest in a couple of body shapers. But you also don't want to have the one to where it's so constricting to where you can't eat, you
Right.
can't even hardly move, you can't bend over,
Right.
though that's a little bit too constricting, but basically what you want to keep in mind is that the purpose of the body shaper is just to give you a more nice fitted look, to
Right.
make sure that like the women say, the girls are sitting up right, you know nothing is jiggling and shaking and all over the
Yes.
place. But now, most of the time, when women would wear a body shaper, you don't normally wear a body shaper like with a sundress, something,
Right.
some easy breezy kind of thing. But it's
Mm-hmm.
basically when you're kind of dressed,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's pantsuit or even wearing a dress or a suit.
Right. You've also talked about, and I guess the ladies call them the girls, but you've
Yeah,
spoken
sometimes
to us about the fact, and women have asked that question about getting sized.
yes. That is like paramount because of the fact you can go to certain department stores and they will
Mm-hmm.
have like specialty people that are in the store that will help you get the right size bra,
Yes.
because that is really really important. And one of the most important things about it, and pretty much any woman will tell you,
Yes.
is more when a woman has a God-given gift, then sometimes they need help. And what happens if you don't have the right bra, it will um, bother your shoulders and your
Mm-hmm.
back.
Mm-hmm.
So having the right type of bra on will help with your posture, and it will take a lot of pressure off of your shoulders, and so that you won't be in pain all the time. Because that was one of the things about bras years ago, when before they start really using better technology to make better bras, that women were complaining about their shoulders and their back. Especially when you're like a D, a E, and do you know they have bras that go all the way up to Z?
Ooh.
You
Wow.
said, "Woo!"
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But also
yeah,
medically, you talk about that. You talk about the medical aspect about that, like you were just saying about the back, the pain in the back,
yeah,
and things like that because of the weight.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's the reason why um, it's good to invest in a good quality bra.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the places that I would recommend getting a good bra would be Victoria's Secret is definitely
Mm-hmm.
one. And I've been researching on what's really going on in the retail industry, and Victoria's Secret will be closing several stores across the U.S. because of the pandemic,
Wow.
along with a ton of other stores, and maybe we get a
Right.
chance to kind of talk about that later on in the show.
Mm-hmm.
But that's definitely one of the places. You can go to Macy's, you can go to Nordstrom's, and they usually have really good specialists that are in the store that can really help you with being fitted with the right bra.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is that you have to be open when they tell you what would work best for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes, you could be set in your way. It's like, well, I've wore this bra since I was 13.
Yeah.
It's like, but now you're 35 and that don't work anymore, and you've had about 2 or 3 children.
Absolutely. We haven't talked about your great line for men, Paisley 360. How did that come about?
Yes, Paisley 360 came because I had a couple of friends in particular. Harold Egan was one of them. A man by the name of Cornelius was another one, and a couple of more that told me, like, why are you always styling people in other designer stuff? Why don't you create your own? So after them telling me that for a couple of years or so, I began to launch my own design collection. And for me, and like me, I love to dress.
Yes.
Like, I love suits. I love blazers. I
Yes.
love, like, just really popping out stuff. And one of the things too is that I tend to, from the very beginning, I always look to celebrities because it made you be more exclusive.
Yes.
In terms of what you would look like on television, on the stage, and that kind of thing. And so, I have shirts and stuff that I made out of sequins. I have blazers with sequins, and that kind of thing now is becoming more mainstream to where you see people in the supermarket,
Right.
with a blinged out shirt now in the daytime.
Yes.
So you can see how things evolve, but I feel like I was like a forerunner, that I was doing that years ago.
Right. Absolutely. When we come back, we'll talk more to Tim Thorn.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. For a limited time, get $16,000 off all in-stock Cadillac 2019 XT5 crossovers and $19,000 off all in-stock 2019 CT6 sedans. Or experience the first ever 2020 Cadillac XT6 Premium Luxury Collection. Only $519 with $1 down for 39 months lease. Or purchase and receive 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. Drive the new 2020 Cadillac XT4, only $399 a month, or the new 2020 XT5, only $429 a month, both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase the XT4 or XT5 and enjoy 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
Our story begins more than 60 years ago inside an abandoned chicken coop where our founder discovered a retired teacher living. No home, no health care. So she said no to this injustice and yes to transforming lives. It's this drive, this compassion that inspired AARP. Today we empower people to choose how they live as they age. We advocate for health and financial security. We strengthen communities everywhere. We are AARP, creating real possibilities.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, welcome back. We are talking to Tim Thorn, image consultant, celebrity stylist, and my friend. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Sounds good. We were just talking about Paisley 360, and that's your line.
Yes, Paisley 360. And it's not just exclusive to men. Within the
Oh,
last couple of years, I have began to incorporate some women pieces.
great.
And maybe after the next break, I'll show a couple of a women's piece, my first women's piece that I did.
Sounds good because they're waiting. I'm telling you one thing. They have just been beating me.
They
They
are,
want to know
which is
the
a good thing.
main. It is a good thing. The main thing everybody always asks, can we wear white after Labor Day?
Absolutely, absolutely. You can wear white after Labor Day because that was something that happened decades ago,
Yes,
where the people on the East Coast, because the climate
yes.
changes a lot quicker than it does in the South, and see there is a disparity as well because here in the South, especially in Texas,
Yes.
Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, we basically have summer year round,
Right.
pretty much. You know, I can remember a couple of years ago on Christmas Day, it was like 90 degrees
Yes.
because I had my family over and they were literally sitting out in the backyard like it was just summertime. And it was Christmas Day. It's like, oh my
Right.
God, you know. So um, now many of you know that people are having these white parties,
Yes.
and the white parties are not exclusive to spring and summer.
Yes.
People are having white parties all year long. And so, sure, you can wear white after Labor Day because if we had time, I could give you the history on how all that came up. But just the bottom line is, yes, you can wear white after Labor Day.
Now,
Now,
the
some
shoes.
people, that's what I was getting ready to talk about. That's what I was getting ready to talk about. Because white shoes now is a difference. Now, this is the thing. I think that that may be one thing that you can kind of like pack up until springtime is the white shoes. But I have seen within the last few years that there are some really nice patent leather, nice leather white boots, and women know what I'm talking about when I say the ankle boots,
Right.
or what we used to call kind of like the go-go boots back in the day.
Right. Uh-huh.
And also for men, you can wear a pair of white or off-white bucks, suede bucks, wingtip bucks. Like Cole Haan makes some really, really nice ones. And you could put something like that on in the fall or the winter and just kill.
Absolutely.
So it all depends. Now, when we say white shoes, many of us have this image in our mind of the shoes that Aunt Thelma wore back in the 60s
Okay.
with a red dress, orange dress, you know. And it's like, no, 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 no. So things have definitely improved to where you really can wear white shoes, but it all depends on the whole style of the shoe and and also what you're doing from your ankle up.
Right. Love it, love it, love it. Another one that everybody asks about is leggings and jeggings. So leggings,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
still there.
And we've always talked
Now,
about the body contour of it. Okay? So
right.
can everybody wear them?
I will say yes because they make them in all sizes now.
Yes.
But this is the thing, though. This is the thing. Ladies, when you're wearing them, don't let that be your focal piece. Wear a seraph or wear a long shirt or wear a jacket or something so that that's just not your number one go-to piece. When I look at you, I'm just seeing leggings and then I'll see nothing else. Not unless you're going to, work out. You have a workout that's very contoured to you. But just going out in some leggings, Not unless you got a really tight body. And when I say tight body, y'all know what I'm talking about. But um, that should not be just your main piece, but accentuate it with a long big shirt, or with a blazer, or with a sweater, or something like that.
I like that, what you're saying about the women and what they're to wear, they're supposed to wear.
Yeah,
Because they want, I mean, they've asked that question, or should they just, people not wear it at all? But that's good, about the focal point.
right. Um, because we have seen women out and about,
Yes.
and you're like, what in the world were they thinking? Now, I'll say that, but the first thing that come to my mind when I see a woman, you know, that really, really, really needs some help, is my thing is like, she doesn't have any friends.
Wow. Wow.
And
Her friends didn't
I
tell
say
her,
the
huh?
same thing about some men too. I say the
Yeah.
same thing about some men, when they come out looking like a bag of Skittles. I'm just like, he doesn't have any friends. Because if you had friends, your friends would tell you, you should never go out in public looking like that ever again.
Yeah.
Real friends will tell you the real truth.
We're falling, it looks like many times that we go to the store, we just walked out. I mean, like we've fallen out of bed and we just walked to the store. And some people call it athleisure, but that is not athleisure. Let's explain what athletic wear that's leisure. It's called athleisure. Let's
Right.
explain that. Athleisure.
Well, first of all, PJs are not athleisure. Okay, let's get that straight. Pajamas are not athleisure wear.
Right.
Athleisure wear can really look um, like something that you would basically wear if you worked in corporate almost. Because the thing about athleisure wear is the fact that it has what we call lycra or stretch in it,
Yes.
because it gives you the ability to have movement. And so, because now it has become a part of the fashion culture,
Yes.
you have some of it where you literally, it looks just like a suit almost. The pants are very nice fabric, different colors, different patterns, and stuff like that, to where you can go from the gym into the supermarket or at the mall or to an event, and you look really, really nice because you can have a suit, the bottoms and the top that goes together,
Yes.
and it really, really, really looks nice. But that's not. I have seen a lot of pajamas out in
Yes.
public,
Yes.
along with the house shoes too. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Oh,
so if you
yes.
got these pajamas on out here in the store, what are you going home and sleeping in at night?
Right.
Are you still sleeping in those same pajamas that you have on in public? That right there really, really bothers me. So there is a difference between the athleisure wear, and the thing about it, when we speak about athleisure wear, women has they have a plethora of places that they can go to and find some incredible pieces.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I agree with you. What do you think that fashion will be as viable in Houston as it is in other places?
I always say that in Houston it's becoming,
Okay.
because we do have some people in this city, and quite a few, that are very fashion minded.
Yes.
Now, I can't say the same thing about our sister city, Dallas, um, because I don't think they've been getting all the emails yet when it comes to fashion. But the thing about Dallas is that whatever you want, you can find it in Dallas.
Yes.
You may not be able to find it in Houston, but you can find it in Dallas, but you're not going to really see it on the street in Dallas.
Yes.
But here in Houston, like I said, Houston is becoming, and it's going to take like yourself and Urban Randall and so many others that are out in the forefront and have these platforms for people to see that it's okay for you to dress.
Yes.
And you don't have to be going anywhere in particular, but just the fact that you just like to look good. Because one thing, Cam, I've learned is that when you look good, you feel good.
You do. You do. I remember a quote a mentor of mine told me all the time. He said, when you go to the bank, look like you want a loan, not that you need one.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I
He
can
told me that
remember
all the
I was
time.
working with, yes, I can remember I was working with a client once, and we were in Saks. So I had gotten all of his clothing together, and so I said, okay, you need a really nice cologne. So we were in Saks trying to pick out a cologne, right? And so once he finally made a decision on a cologne, the salesperson at Saks told me, okay, said to me, you can go ahead and check him out. And I was like, I don't work here.
Right.
And he's like,
Right.
oh, I thought you were working upstairs. I was like, no. And I'm like, if I was a crook, I could have checked him out, myself, and all my cousins, But and that was on a Saturday.
Yes.
And so, but I was dressed.
Yes.
Because of the fact that, first of all, I like to dress, and then when I'm working with my clients, I want them to feel inspired.
Yes. Yes. I
Yeah.
think we're treated
So,
differently when we are
yeah,
dressed.
you are. You are. You are. And if I could get spiritual for a second,
Yes.
hallelujah. If I can get spiritual for a second, the Bible says, man looks on the outside, but God looks at the heart. Because only God knows what's in your heart, right?
Right. Right.
But the Bible said man looks on the outside.
Yes.
So and that is applicable to our culture today.
It is.
You are judged by the way you look.
Yes, we are. We are.
And I've even found out, even with myself,
Mm-hmm.
people have judged me based on how I look,
Mm-hmm.
and they've also judged me on my fingernails.
Wow. Wow.
Now, my fingernails right now, I'm being very transparent. They need a lot of help right now. And some may say, well, I don't see nothing wrong with them, but they really need a lot of help right now. But I usually try to keep my fingernails clipped. I wash my hands like a crazy man before this pandemic even started. I mean, and since the pandemic has started, I have to put lotion on my hands while I'm around the house because I'm washing dishes, I'm washing my hands at home so much, my hands start chafing, But people will judge you. And for a long time, until I got to be a grown man, I didn't know that people judge you based on what your hands look like.
Wow. Wow.
And they were saying that, they would ask me, what kind of work do you do? And I was like, why are you asking me that? Because your hands don't look rough and torn and tore up and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and so as a young man coming into adulthood, I was like, oh, so I start finding out different things, how people can look at you
Right.
and make assessments of you
Yes.
based on how you look.
Absolutely. I agree with that. As we're talking to the viewers today, and we were talking about color, and we were talking about just melanin, our skin in itself, and we have to do better as far as us because people judge us. Let's talk to some of those viewers about what you've seen as far as the George Floyd incident and things like that, through racism and things like that.
Yes. Well, to be honest, I think on a whole, Black people, African American people here in the U.S.,
Yes.
we have a very strong culture.
Yes.
And we have a very strong fashion culture here in the U.S. because when you look at like hip hop has influenced the world
Yes.
in so many different areas, in the way we talk now, in the way we party, in the way we dress.
Yes.
the hip hop culture has influenced the world. And so being here in the US as an African American, um, if you notice, we were some of the first people to get the Black Lives Matter t-shirt,
Yes.
do the Black Lives Matter mask,
Mm-hmm.
because all of this is a fashion statement. And I think one time you and I did talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the civil rights movement back in the 60s,
Yes.
practically all of those people, they came out in suits, and the
Suits.
women had dresses, and they were carrying their
Yes.
purses,
And
and
they
some of
walked
them
a
even
long way.
wore hats.
Yes.
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 So bring it up to 2020, you see that, like, I've seen some of the most incredible Black Lives Matters masks, and I've seen
Yes.
the I Can't Breathe, and
Yes.
these are all fashion statements. I
Mm-hmm.
even made a Black Lives Matter T-shirt.
Yes.
I actually have a couple of them, and maybe I'll grab those too, just to
Mm-hmm.
show people that it still is a fashion sense, because
Yes.
what it does, there's a message.
Yes. Yes.
There's a message, but it's a part of the fashion culture. And so when it comes to, like we talked about earlier, the melanin in our skin, one thing I think that that we have kind of created memes and joked around, when you see a man in pink shoes, a pink suit, and a pink hat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And even though you have the melanin in your skin, that's just too much. That's just overboard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
because you really look like a bottle of Pepto Bismol. You know, and that's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So one of the things about fashion culture right now is that doing a lot of matching is not the thing like it was back in the 90s,
Yes.
where you have to have everything the same color from head to
Yes.
toe.
Mm-hmm.
That's really out of the window, as well as patterns.
Yes.
You don't have to have a plaid suit where everything is just plaid shoes, plaid hat, like, no, break it up, and coordinate. And
Mm-hmm.
I know coordinating is a very difficult thing for a lot of people. That's
Mm-hmm.
why you need a style consultant.
Absolutely.
So going back to the fact that in this current atmosphere that we're living in,
Yes.
we still see a fashion statement.
Yes.
And a lot of it has come from the African Americans here in the US, that is creating. I even saw a photo, and this was a store, I believe, over in Europe.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And when you see the photo, it looks like there were four men standing together.
Mm.
But this store was advertising underwear, and they had the mannequins, the pant on the mannequin sagging.
Wow.
I'm like, what? What the what?
That
Yeah,
is crazy.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was really crazy. It was
Wow.
really crazy. So the African American culture here in the US has been a huge fashion influence. And let me
Yes.
tell you this, right now, as a black designer, this is like the greatest opportunity for black designers, because the world is changing right before our eyes,
Right.
and they are really seeking out these black designers because of the movement that's going on now.
Right.
And so many companies are trying to push that. There was one guy that did a t-shirt, and this company reached out to him and say, hey, we would like to have like 1,500 of those.
Wow.
And the person just did, a few, like, normally when you're
Right.
getting started young, you don't think it's going to go anywhere. And now this guy's having to do a whole lot of stuff. So I want to encourage, if there are any designers that are out there, to know that this is an exciting time to really push your stuff out there. And I'm doing some things too to try to push some designs out there right now, because now T-shirts are really like one of the number one staples in our culture right now.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, what we're going to do right now, Tim, you go get the things that you were going to get. We're going to take a break real quick, and we're going to be right back with Tim because I want to see his new things and I want to see what he has for the women.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. Drive the new 2020 Cadillac XT4, only $399 a month, or the new 2020 XT5, only $429 a month, both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase the XT4 or XT5 and enjoy 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
Our story begins more than 60 years ago inside an abandoned chicken coop where our founder discovered a retired teacher living, no home, no health care. So she said no to this injustice and yes to transforming lives. It's this drive, this compassion that inspired AARP. Today we empower people to choose how they live as they age. We advocate for health and financial security. We strengthen communities everywhere. We are AARP, creating real possibilities.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. For a limited time, get $16,000 off all in-stock Cadillac 2019 XT5 crossovers and $19,000 off all in-stock 2019 CT6 sedans. Or experience the first ever 2020 Cadillac XT6 Premium Luxury Collection, only $519 with $1 down for 39 months lease. Or purchase and receive 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, we were just talking to Tim Thorn. He is the image consultant, celebrity stylist, but I want to do some shout outs in the meantime. Tony Sanders, Marty Wash. Hey, lady, how you doing? Yolanda Ballard, my cousin TT, Barbara Henderson. Hey, lady, what's up? Also, Janice. We've got some questions from Janice Taylor, Yolanda Ballard. That's my girl. What's up, girl? I see you. Also, Christina. We've got some people out of ATL. Shout out to ATL, Florida, Vegas, and LA. Talking to Tim Thorn. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm good.
Man, it's some people hitting it. Man, DC. It's a lot of people. Before we go on, one lady has one question. She says, the style ladies over 65, what would be just one thing that you would tell them? How do you feel about them? Because they love clothes.
Yes. And that's a good thing. One thing I would tell women over 65.
Yes.
Don't try to dress like you're 25.
There you go.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
You are a mature, experienced, and I always like using the word mature. You're a mature, experienced woman.
Mm-hmm.
Dress elegantly. Dress like you have some class.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love to see a mature woman that dress with class. Just when you look at them, it's like they just ooze class and sophistication.
Yeah.
So that will forever be my number one statement to any woman that is mature, to always dress with class.
Yes. Love it. Let's see some things that you have.
Okay. This is one t-shirt that I did. Black Lives Matter t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not your vinyl iron-on. These are actually collegiate letters that have to be sewn on.
Right.
So it's bigger, it's better. And not only that, but these are actually 6-inch letters. So you can see me from here to Vegas and see my Black Lives Matter t-shirt. And
I love it.
This is This is one that I did. At the bottom it says unapologetic.
Yes. Yes.
And you can see the colors in the fist
Yes.
is the colors of Africa, because the fist is shaped like Africa.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have the colors of Africa and the word unapologetic. And
Yes.
again, this is a fashion statement because we are unapologetic for
Yes.
who we are.
Yes.
We are great people. And that's what we were talking about before the break, is that that fashion.
Yes.
That's a fashion piece, but it's also a piece that's speaking a message.
It is. It is. You had some things for
And let
women.
me show you.
You got some women
Yes,
things?
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, both of them, men or women,
Okay. Unisex. Right.
they're unisex. They're unisex. Now, let me show you. I may have to pull back a little bit. This is one suit that I did for men.
Oh, wow. Yes. That's a men's suit.
And yeah, this is a man's suit, and it comes with the pant as
Yes.
well. And we call this pattern blocking because you have the solid color here, and then you have the floral. Now, this is for a very fashion-forward, bold man. This is not for your little everyday man that's afraid to make a fashion thing. This is for the fashion-forward.
You going to the BET Awards and stuff in that. You going to the awards and that.
Exactly. And so what I did, I made it for women also.
Oh, wow. I see the cut, the different cut of jacket.
Yes. Right. The jacket is shorter. And the pants are also cropped, meaning they come just about halfway your leg. So,
Wow.
They're probably about 4 inches above your ankle, so that you can wear some nice pumps with it to give you that nice, sexy look.
Yeah.
And then also from the women, I did more of a shawl collar lapel on it. Versus with the man, I did a peak lapel.
Yes.
So this is my first women's piece, and I did it to match a man. So this suit is already sold. This combination.
You know they were going to ask.
To a couple, yeah. And the bad thing about it is that that fabric is no longer available. And I got so mad at my supplier. I was like, how could y'all do this to me?
Right.
You know, it's like, well, we just can't get any more of that fabric.
So Tim,
sorry if you wanted to get that.
You showed us a piece and they can't have it. You showed us a piece and they can't have it. What is this? Okay, so he's going to come back. But let's go over a few things. I love Tim Thorn talking about a lot of things that we have. That a lot of things that he was talking about. Let's just go over some things. Spanx, body shapers. He was talking about wearing white and when to wear white. I love that. I love we can wear white, yes, after Labor Day. So let's get that. It's just about the shoes that we're most concerned about with the shoes. Also, Tim always talks about great things about the body contour and what you're supposed to wear and things like that. But I like what he said, don't get a Spanx or anything that's so strong that you cannot breathe or eat. So get one that is your body. But I will tell you, Tim Thorn is the best. He's an image consultant, a model coach, an influencer, a celebrity stylist. He has styled so many people that I know that are on the red carpet as well as runway. He does several people that I've known of about Fashion Week. He does a lot of things on Fashion Week. So my friend, I tell you, he does a lot of consulting with different people. So what we will do, we will put on there how to get in touch with Tim. We will put on there his website. We will put on their Facebook page. He's on Facebook, Tim Thorn, I know that. As well as inbox him, letting him know of some things or some questions that you need to look or want to ask him. But I thank you. This has been fun. Thank you, Tim, my friend, for everything. Every time I call him, he always comes. On tomorrow, we will have attorney Willie Powles III. He is one of the best here in Houston, and he does a plethora of things, and we will talk about Texas law. Have a great one. Bye.